distance-wise?
Well, we were maybe a quarter mile, something like that, because we used to go. In fact, whenever I was on the front line, one of the first guys, I think, because when we left the town of Rockerath to move to the Elsenborn, we had to go cross country, like to get into the town of Elsenborn, and we had to come across the Elsenborn Ridge. So I told our guys when I was leaving the aid station, I says, nobody rides the trucks, because where we were supposed to go to a crossroad was maybe like a tenth of a mile away, that was under artillery fire. I says, you load up that truck with 15 guys and the truck gets hit, you have no aid station, everything is gone, you know. So I said, only the drivers go down to the crossroads where we were supposed to meet. And I said, everybody else walks down or runs or get down there the best way you can. So on the way down, I heard a shell coming in. So then, of course, you hit the ground. And the shell hit the ground and made 2 bounces pretty close to me. It didn't go off. So I got past that one. So then we got down to the crossroads where we were all supposed to meet with headquarters and the different units. Well, our vehicles are already gone. They got in line, and so then we all just started to walk. Going across Elsenborn Ridge between the snow and the mud and everything from the trucks and tanks and everything crossing there, everything got bogged down. So it ended up everybody was walking for a good mile, I guess. And of course it started to get dark. So then some of us, a couple of us medics, there was a bunker there where there was probably, might have been the size of this room maybe, or a little bit smaller. And it was about 3 foot deep, and it had tin and stuff on top of it. So we just crawled in there for the night. And during the night, you get the shells, you could hear ricocheting off the tin, you know, on top. So, and this other medic, he might have been 18, 19 years old. He was younger than me. I was an old man by that time. And so he was shaking all over, so I just cuddled him up like and held him real close to me all night long, you know, to try to keep him calmed down, you know. So then the next morning, because you could say it was getting daylight, we didn't know if German soldiers had overran everything. Or, so one of us, I don't know who it was, well, I don't think it was me that looked out, so you don't see anything. So then we all got out of there, and then we started walking in the direction we were supposed to go. And there was an army truck sitting there, and I says, do you have anything on this truck we can eat? And he said, yeah, I have some sea rations. So he gave us each it was a can of vegetable soup. It was froze solid, you know. And we had our can openers we carried with us, so I ate frozen vegetable soup for breakfast that morning. So then we kept walking, and then once we got where there were some roads, there's this medic jeep was coming towards us, and it was one of our jeeps. So they had sent guys out to look for us, you know. So then we went into, then we were stationed, they had just put an aid station in a house. And so I went to this house, and they were still shelling us pretty good, you know. And while we were in this house, word came that there was a German tank coming up the road. So somebody had left a bazooka in this house. So this Walter Pulaski and I says, why don't we take it? They had fruit cellar down underground, like, and there was a window that looked out onto the road. I says, why don't we get out when that tank comes up, let's shoot at it with this bazooka, you know. He says, that's a good idea. So we're down in this basement, and for some reason there was a lieutenant come down. I don't know what he'd come down for, but he said, what are you guys going to do? I said, well, if this tank comes past us, we're going to shoot at it. He said, if you'd have fired that bazooka in this basement, you'd have killed you both from a concussion. He said, anyway, the tank's already knocked out. So then I said to my major, I said, you know, this is a bad place to have an aid station. It was right at the intersection, on a corner, and I said, they're going to zero this intersection in, and we're going to get hit, you know. And he said, I think you're right. He said, I'm going to go on another place. That's when he found the schoolhouse. So he said, we're moving down to the schoolhouse. Well, the next morning, a shell hit that building. It was demolished. And when we went up there, there was a Jeep there, had two guys sitting in it. They were both killed sitting in that Jeep. I told Major, I see, we just made it in time. So that's just the way stuff went on, you know.